This is going to be my reaction to the Baltimore Orioles July month as well as their trade deadline. I guess let's get started. I'll be bouncing around all over the place. This is a bit of a rant. This is a bit of analysis. Uh, let's start off by saying they traded away a lot of different key pieces. There's some that I do think they will miss, like Ramon Laureano, who I think they should have kept just because he's on contract for 2026. And having an extra outfielder helps, especially with Tyler O'Neill's inconsistencies. So there's that. Um, the other one that I'm thinking of is Rios is another one where he's on contract for 2026, and it's interesting that they traded him away too. Um, so besides those two, I do think it will be interesting to see what the Orioles do moving forward. Of course, you also got Tyler O'Neill and Colton Cowser, and the main core six that you'd expected to stay have stayed. Cowser, O'Neill, Rutschman, Henderson, Holiday, and Westberg. Those are the six going into the deadline that you were expected to keep, and from what it looks like, they kept them, and I doubt that they'll trade them anytime soon. Maybe Rutschman if the right piece comes along, but that's just because they drafted two catchers in the first round. Um, so that's the first thing. Second thing is they also traded away a lot of bullpen, which also hurts a bit. Is I do think the bullpen is a bit weaker now, especially losing Soto, Dominguez, and especially Kitteridge. That to me is another big shocker was that they let go Kitteridge, which once again has a contract option for 2026. I don't know why. That just means they're gonna have to figure out okay who's closing, who do they trust in big key situations. Do you really expect Corbin Martin to be your closer moving forward, or do you go to a guy like Keegan Aiken, or heck, if Bautista's out for the year and you get Tyler Wells back, do you get Wells to your rotation? So yeah, that's the other big thing is what are they doing in the pen because Bautista's out for an unknown amount of time, most likely done for the year, probably resting him up going into 2026. His at the end of the day, this shouldn't be a rebuild but a reload. And if I'm going to be completely 100% honest, Elias has to understand that. And in doing so, one of two things has to happen. One, Elias has to lead this reload and understand that we have to contend for 2026. No excuses. He has to spend big this offseason. He has to get the big starter. He has to get a couple of heavy relievers. He has to get an extra one or two bats. And or the second option is you fire Elias and you bring in a general manager who knows how to contend, who knows how to build a contender, who knows how to spend. That's the key thing at the end of the day is you have to spend. And the Orioles, as a small market, don't do that. I mean, the biggest piece last year, besides Tyler O'Neill, was Charlie Morton. And now Morton's gone too. And if I'm going to be completely honest, that doesn't give me hope moving forward that Elias knows how to spend. Like, you cannot have an off season where you look to contend, so you go get two aging pitchers on 1 year, three aging pitchers on 1 year deals, Morin Sugano and Gibson. So 3 starters on 1-year deals. And I expect that to be your key piece in your pitching moving forward. Yes, because Rodriguez hasn't been healthy in his career at all. And you don't know how much you can expect with that. Because here's the thing is, honestly, going into 2026, is Rodriguez really going to be in your plans for the starting rotation? Is that to me is the question. Is if he is, then you're going to have to plan around that. You're going to have to get some help through the pen, through the AAA system, through the trades, through free agency. You have to make sure that if Rodriguez gets hurt again, you have a backup solution. So yeah, Rodriguez has to stay healthy. That's the big thing. And the other big thing is what your rotation going to look like. Because you got Bradish and you got Rogers, but then after that, then your depth starts to wane thin. Do you keep Kramer? Do you keep Povich? Do you keep Wells? Because when you look at it, you got Bradish at the top, then Rogers, and then a bunch of depth. And then you gotta figure out what your depth is. And you have to, with that depth, you have to go and you have to spend. You have to make the trades. You have to get the players. Because looking at you have to go Bradish, Rogers, and then a gap. Who's gonna be that gap? Is it gonna be Kramer? Is it gonna be Povich? Is it gonna be Young? Is it gonna be Balls? You have to make a free agency trade. You have to get somebody free agency. You have to make a trade because what are you gonna do there? That's the plan for 2026. Is you have to fix the rotation. That should be your number one priority. And number two priority is fixing the back end of the bullpen. Because right now there's only 3 guys that were in your plan for at the beginning of the year that are still on the team. Aiken, Cano, Bautista. And I'm expecting all 3 to be back in the rotation in 2026. However, you have to decide who else we're going to add to that rotation. Who else we're going to add to that bullpen rotation. Do you like what you see from Wolfram, for example? Maybe you keep him. Maybe you like what you see from Corbin Martin, or Matt Bowman, or Scott Bluette. But none of these guys seem to be a good high leverage reliever. And that's what they need. They need a high leverage reliever. Is Bautista can't do it alone. You have to decide who's closing the days Bautista does, the days Bautista is off. If Bautista can't go more than 2 days, for more than 2 days, more than 60 pitches. You have to add a Keegan. You have to make sure that like a Keegan Aiken or a Yennier Cano or someone can close games for Bautista is off. I'll probably do a part two to this, probably in the next couple days. Just going through. Yeah, this is just mainly 2026 plans. I'll talk more about the deadline. Probably as this video is gonna get long. I'll talk more about the deadline in a future video. But this is mainly just a rant of where I think the team's going. And don't get me wrong, I like what Elias has done on the rebuild, and I like the pieces that he's brought in for the rebuild. But he has to prove to me that he can build a contender, and so far that has not have happened. See you next time.